You're listening to Locally Sourced on KRFC 88.9 FM. I'm your host, Ben, and our guest today is Nick Critchlow, and he's got Tom Viney in the studio with us to play violin. Nick has a new record out called Paper Cranes. Thank you for joining us, Nick.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Hey, so I know Paper Cranes is also the title of one of your songs, and there's some pretty cool lyrics in that song about kind of the metaphor of making a paper crane. And did you ever figure out how to fold up one of those?
Yeah, I tried to learn for the album release show, and I made one. It took me about 3 hours, and I was going to make about 100 of them, and I just made the one. So
did you sell it at the merch booth?
No, I would not sell it to anyone. I wouldn't even give it away for free.
There you go. That's cool. All right, and so what's the story behind the Paper Crane song? I know some artists don't like to tell the story behind songs. They want people to figure out for themselves. But
I don't think I have the luxury of being too picky about what I talk about, right? Like, I'm not that popular, so I'll tell you anything. No, just kidding. But yeah, I was inspired to write the song because I saw some art at the Wild Boar, which no longer exists, and we bought some paper crane art from a local artist, and that was back in 2018, and I just got inspired by that piece of art and kind of just the mood, and that really shaped like the whole album and kind of what I put on it and the feel that I was going for.
All right, cool. So you guys, you said you wanted to play one of the songs off the record first. Which one did you want to go with?
Yeah, well, let's start with Faded Love.
All right, you're listening to Locally Sourced on KRFC, and this is Nick Critchlow and Tom Viney playing live for us.
Yes, there ain't no hope for me. Yes, there ain't no hope for me. As I crawl to the moon, I will burn from the sun. As I call your name too soon, yeah, there ain't no hope for me. Yes, there ain't no hope for me. Shouldn't have listened then when you said, well, keep your chin up, friend, 'cause there's no bright side to this. Yeah, there ain't no bright side, ain't no bright side to this. Faded love. Yeah, there ain't no hope for me. Yeah, there ain't no hope for me. Am I cursed to believe that you and I will never sing? Well, on this boat of sticks and leaves, melodies, memories, yeah, there ain't no hope for me. Yes, there ain't no hope for me. In faded love, faded love, in faded love.
That was Faded Love, performed live by Nick Critchlow and Tom Viney here in the Paul and Amy Hawk studio on Locally Sourced. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening. So, Nick, was this your second, Paper Cranes, your second studio album?
Yeah, well, I had a project way back in the day called Porcelain City, and before that, Snake Oil Trio with Tom. But this was really, I feel like, the true second studio album. That was more than just like an EP, essentially. So
yeah, your first one was called The Comeback Kid?
Yep, that's correct.
So what do you think is different between The Comeback Kid and Paper Cranes? Because it was a little bit of time between the two. Yeah,
Comeback Kid was back in 2018, largely inspired by me moving to a little city of 13 million people in China called Wuhan, China, which at the time no one knew where that was in my family and friend group. And then when I got back, everyone had some questions for me.
I bet.
But it was a lot of kind of more upbeat songs, kind of about just like changing things up and kind of being energized by a change. Whereas this Paper Cranes album is more introspective, I would say, and maybe a little bit more moody in a good way. Complex emo, not high school emo, a little bit more mature, hopefully. But yeah.
So how long were you in China?
Just 1 year, from 2018 to 2019, or 2017 to 2018. Yeah, sorry. I got the dates wrong there, but...
Did you play music when you were in China?
Yeah, I did. I played at this place called the Bubble Lab, which was a Western-owned bar, and I played there about once a month, and it was pretty good. The one time... playing to Chinese audiences is kind of difficult because a lot of times they don't speak a lot of English. And one time this guy was like, I think he was getting a little impatient. He thought it was like karaoke night or something. And he was like, when am I going to be able to play, Bon Jovi or whatever? And he was getting more drunk and more frustrated, and eventually like stumbled up on the stage, and he was like trying to grapple the mic away from me, and he was like screaming at me. And he had to be like brought off the stage by the owners. It was like a really, really uncomfortable situation. But other than that, it was a great venue. The one experience was a little interesting, but
yeah. So you found playing music in China to be inspiring, I gather.
Yeah. I don't think any of the songs off of this record are influenced from China, but I definitely wrote a few songs in China that I continue to play out. So
yeah, very interesting. Well, what do you want to play next for us?
We'll go ahead and play the title track from the album called Paper Cranes.
All right, sounds good.
Holding pine trees to the stars, the black and white conversations of our heart. Fold my heart like a paper crane, hanging from your ceiling, I'm home again. Words dry up, stick to mouth. Drops of syllables, muddy ground. Feels like all we do is pray for rain. Falling on your tin roof, I'm home again. I just wanna be straight with you. Oh, but my words are cuneiform, cursive hieroglyphic metaphors would make more sense than mine. Games I play, oh, and the joke won't be on you or I this time, or maybe it will be alright. Maybe one day we won't be apart. These games I play, oh, and the joke won't be on you right this time, or maybe it will be alright.
That was Paper Cranes by Nick Critchlow and Tom Viney. We'll be right back after this. Hey, thank you for tuning in to Locally Sourced. Today we have Nick Critchlow in the studio with us. He's playing live. And I noticed, so you guys obviously, listeners cannot see this, but Nick has two guitars in the studio with him today. And I just mentioned earlier that I got to see Jeff Finlan on Sunday, and he played all in alternate tunings, no standard tunings. And so, Nick, I gather that some of these songs, so far all the songs that you've played off Paper Cranes have been in, is that drop D?
It is, I'm embarrassed not to know this.
An alternate tuning.
It's an alternate tuning that I'm sure everybody has used, but I discovered on my own, which is, how it goes when you're self-taught. So, the first three of the songs on the album are in that tuning. And so I got the second guitar because it's just a little bit of a pain to go back and forth on tuning all the time.
Right, and it totally makes sense. So, I know that some of your influences that you've mentioned are like the Fleet Foxes and Iron and Wine, Gregory Alan Isakov. Do those influences come through in the songs that you write? Like, were you inspired by other artists to try that tuning, or you just fell upon it and messed around with it?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of awesome alternate tuning songs by those artists. Just kind of that full, warm sound. That was kind of really what I was going for. And just kind of mixing it up when you're, trying to write a new song, just trying different things to get inspired in different ways.
Find new melodies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Maybe the universe is trying to tell me something I've never ever used an alternative tuning. So, all right. So you've switched back to standard tuning now. What would you like to play for us?
This is a song called Losing Control. I am temporary, footnote commentary, but a song on leaves. Yes, I know my standing and my hopeful landing's chosen by the smallest breeze. Yes, I'm sliding, I'm colliding, well, I'm surviving, well, I am losing control. I'm losing control. I'm distracted by all these actions and these redactions. Well, let the record show I'm losing control.
Don't you worry about a thing now, honey. Don't you worry about a thing now, honey. I am ordinary, lot less weight to carry now. I'm relieved. Words of aspiration die on mortal pages as my ink bleeds. And though we try to qualify, we can't count on it as such. And though we want to quantify, the means of measure are too much. So we go on down. Yes, we go on down. So low. I'll be in the fold. I'm losing control. I'm imbibing, oh high-fiving. I'm imbibing, so I don't feel so cold. I'm losing control. Don't you worry about a thing now, honey. Don't you worry about a thing now, honey. Don't you worry about a thing now, honey. I am ordinary, lot less weight you carry now. I'm relieved.
That's Nick Critchlow and Tom Viney playing live for us in the Paul Namiok studio on Locally Sourced. That song was Losing Control. Have you recorded that song or no?
No, yeah, I'm kind of hoping that we get to do that fairly soon, maybe next album.
Yeah? So you have a new one in the works, you think?
Yeah, thinking about some songs, for sure.
So how did you record Paper Cranes?
We used Stout Studios in town with Darren Raddick. And it was Tom and I, and then we had some local musicians, Charlie Stevens on guitar, had Rustic Smith on bass, Haley Hadrick's on vocals for some of the tracks. So kind of just try to keep it local. And Darren also did the drums too, which was really fun. So
nice.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to watch a drummer who's also the studio engineer, because they play very differently, because they're like, all right, cool, got it,
right.
4 measures, and they're like, cool, we're good.
That's true. So then have you got to take that band out and do some these songs live in that arrangement?
Yeah, we had most everybody for the live album release show. But yeah, typically it's just Tom and I, or sometimes we have a percussionist that joins in for a trio, but kind of keep things small.
Yeah. It's hard to get the funding to do the whole band shows.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like $200 split, by 5-6 ways. It's usually not worth it for people. So.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, well, you get to play around the Front Range quite a bit, which is pretty cool. Do you have shows coming up, or? Yeah,
we're playing down in Loveland this Friday, 7:30. It's Black and Blues Music and Brews. They're a pretty cool venue. Yeah, they have a good stage, good mentality for just having a listening space, which I feel like is pretty rare now, to just have music venues, especially just smaller ones, and obviously not like the Aggie or something like that, but yeah, no TV, no sports playing in the background, things like that. It's kind of nice as musicians to have those spaces. So
cool. And that's this Friday?
Yeah, this Friday at 7:30.
All right.
Yeah.
And okay, On the new Paper Cranes album, you've got a cover song on there called "Tall Buildings," which is a song I've always loved from. I think I came to it through a cover myself, but it's a John Hartford song, right?
Yes, correct.
How'd you decide on nailing that one down for the record?
I also came across it as a cover, actually done by one of my favorite artists, Gregory Alan Isaacoff.
Okay.
Is how I discovered that song, and I just really liked kind of his approach. And then we kind of took our own approach through his cover, so it's almost like a cover of a cover, sort of.
Right. Yeah. Well, it turned out great. And I think that he's such an interesting guy anyway, John Hartford. But
yeah,
he's played on all kinds of amazing stuff. So. It's always a weird way to songs. You know, there's so many times I thought, oh, so-and-so did this song, and then later you find out, oh, no, they didn't. That's a cover.
Yep, it's so true. And it's so interesting, too, because I think on the album that Tall Buildings is on, that John Hartford album, did, terribly. People didn't like that album, but that's such a great song.
It is.
So it's interesting just, how it kind of got, I feel like, maybe lost a little bit and then
before
refound.
Its time.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. It's funny how some songs endure and others just get left behind.
Yeah.
Do you find that true? Looking back on your The Comeback Kid, are there some songs on there you just never play anymore?
Yeah, there's a couple on there that I just rarely play. I think anytime you do songs that have any sort of contemporary references, those die pretty quickly, Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
Can't use payphone in your songs anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the beeper or whatever pager. Yeah.
So what's the next song that you wanted to do?
This one's called Birdlime, which is another song we'd love to record eventually.
Thank you for tuning in to Locally Sourced. I'm your host, Ben, and our guest today is Nick Critchlow and Tom Viney. And they're playing live for us songs off Paper Cranes and some songs that they haven't released yet or recorded yet, I guess. And this is one of them. This is called Birdlime.
You turn your head, a flower at dusk. My eyes downcast, a shadow in the brush. And words may seem a little broken sometimes, and it may feel like we're stranded on the wire. But please don't say things are going my way. Please don't say it. Please don't say anything at all. Silence pass, a floating mote of dust. Your eyes downcast in the grip of winter's hush. The world may seem a little broken sometimes, and it may feel like we're stuck in the Birdlime. Please don't say things are going my way. Please windowsills. So please don't say, please don't say, yeah. 'Cause it may seem, 'cause it may seem it may seem like we're broken sometimes.
That's Nick Critchlow and Tom Viney playing live for us in the Paul and Amy Hawk studio with an unreleased song called Birdlime.
Yeah.
All right. So, Tom, you've been playing with Nick for a long time, I gather. He mentioned a couple other band names that you were part of.
Yeah, like Nick mentioned, we were playing at Avogadro's Number, and we were just doing the open mics there, and I was playing with another friend, and then Nick played, and that's kind of how we met each other. We thought, oh, cool, we should play together sometime. So ever since then, we were playing on and off and doing little open mics, and then eventually that turned into small gigs here and there.
Nice. So have you always played violin for him, or sometimes do you play fiddle?
Yeah, we're weird. Like every time we go to a gig, people will see the violin and be like, oh, sweet, bluegrass. And I'm like, you're going to be disappointed. Surprise! I play just whole notes. But yeah, I don't know. There's not really. It's intentional as far as we just kind of play together and we're friends and hang out, and then kind of just go with what we think sounds good.
Yeah, well, it definitely sounds good, and I think the whole notes, as you described them, I mean, they work great with Nick's voice.
Yeah.
As the reviewers put a lot of fancy words that I would stumble over to describe, the nice sound that comes out of your mouth, and it goes well with the violin. I'm just kidding, because I never know what to call. Whenever someone comes in, I always look at the bio and see what they call it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think we called it anything. Sorry about that.
No, it says violin, so I knew that it was a violin. Do you play other instruments, Tom?
I tried. I dabbled with guitar when I was a kid, and I didn't do a very good job practicing, and so dropped that. But violin was kind of a light bulb moment for me, and the sound it was making, and I played it in high school, and then kind of just kept playing it as a hobby on the side ever since then.
All right. Well, it works well together, and the nice thing about this is what you're hearing in the studio today is pretty much what you get at a lot of the live shows, which is really nice.
Yeah.
To be able to know what you're in for, and if you like it, you can go get it at Black and Blues and Brews on Friday at 7. This Friday, 7:30?
Yeah, 7:30.
7:30, cool. All right, so you have a song that you want to do for us that has endured off the past record.
Yes, it has. Yeah, sometimes.
Which one is it?
The Night Special.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a song that we enjoy playing, and sometimes it feels hit and miss to audiences. I don't know why, but I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I like the story that's behind it, which is I was listening to an NPR story on Leadbelly, and they were talking about just his song Midnight Special and kind of how that came to be, and how he was a great musician, but he just had a small problem that he just liked to stab people sometimes, and get sent to jail. So, you play some shows with Woody Guthrie, then he'd get in a barroom fight and stab somebody and be sent to jail. And he had this legend in the jail, which was the Midnight Special. So the train would show its light through your cell bars. You'd be released the next day. That's kind of the story behind this song, and I kind of took that inspiration. I wrote my own song with the same title about me walking home one night from Old Town Fort Collins.
All right. Well, let's hear it.
And so it goes. Well, I stumble on home like any other poet, yeah. drunk, or don't you know? And I can't stop and see the rain, how the puddles they vibrate with the sounds of passing trains. And I said, train, ramène-moi l'eau maison. I said, a train, ramène-moi l'eau maison. Wake up at 5, the midnight special has passed me by. No light on my window pane, but you know I'm getting shade from the strangers on the bus. Their interlocking footprints makes me think they're just like us. And I said, train, ramène-moi l'eau maison. I said, a train, take me home. Never fails, my head is on the rails, digging holes through countrysides so industry prevails at a price. Yeah, I'll do just what I like. No conductor of this engine's gone, I take away my life. And I said, train, ramène-moi l'eau maison. I said, a train, take me home. So we stood on their shoulders for as long as we could, but we were shaken by the feeling that we weren't doing much good. Yes, we gotta stop, see the rain, how the puddles of these stations shake with our refrains. I said, train, oh train, won't you take me home? Well, I said, train, ramène-moi l'eau maison. Well, I said, train, ramène-moi l'eau maison. Well, I said, train, ramène-moi l'eau maison. Well, I said, train, take me home.
That's the Midnight Special from Nick Critchlow and Tom Viney on violin. These guys have a new record out called Paper Cranes, and they're going to be playing on Friday, November 17th at Black and Blues Music and Brews. We probably have time for one more song if you guys have one.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a song, a single that we released back in January called Man in the Weeds. We can play here.
So this was just a one-off single that you recorded and then went ahead and released that. You said in this past January?
Yeah, in January 23, yeah.
And then you followed up with Paper Cranes. That came out in what, August?
Yep, August. Yeah.
Cool. We just got it here recently. Another fine release from Stout Studios. Well, they're not the label, but from the studio. It seems like he does a nice job over there with.
Yeah, he does.
I've worked there myself and enjoyed it. So, all right. So this is Man in the Weeds.
I am a man of little means, but I've seen such strange things. God split the nail and spilled the kerosene. Well, oh, I've seen some things. I am a man who built his own stage, realized performing was its own cage. Well, how these costumes fit in such weird ways. Well, I am a man who built his cage. full of seeds, but they were stolen by the weeds. Placed a flower between pages you won't read. Well, I'm just a man in the weeds. I'm just a gardener, so it seems, but my thumbs ain't so green. Palms in the soil and stung by the bees. Well, I'm just a man who is green. Well, I know I'm just talking. All these words fall like snow, covering every inch of ground until there's nothing that can grow. I'm a man, but I'm just one. But you chose my branch to hang your apron. Picked an orange, held it like the sun. Well, I'm just one man, but I'm your one.
That was Man in the Weeds from Nick Critchlow and Tom Viney. Hey, congratulations, you guys, on the brand new record, and I look forward to you putting out your next collection of songs.
Yeah, thank you.
And coming back and playing for us again.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us. It was really fun.
You bet. It's our pleasure to have you. Appreciate you guys being here. And if you want to catch them live, they'll be at Black and Blues Music and Brews this Friday at 7:30 p.m. That's Nick Critchlow and Tom Viney. Thanks a lot, guys.